Todd, is the best thing that gets said about last night is we get to play tonight? Is the fact that you're back at it today?
Well, the answer to that question will come at about 11 o'clock tonight. It's a great thing if we arrive at the rink and we get ourselves prepared to play a hard game and a competitive one. We weren't very good against this team, 2 weeks ago? And obviously we weren't very good last night, so there's certainly concern amongst everybody around our team right now with the way we're playing. And tonight gives us an opportunity to straighten some things out, and that happens individually. First of all, everybody shows up and takes their performance level and their commitment level up to where it needs to be, and then it's followed by pairs and lines and units of 5, and it is sustained for a full 60 minutes. We're not going to produce a perfect night. It just isn't going to happen. We know that, and there isn't a team in the league. But we've got to get a lot closer to a quality night than we have been lately.
9 of the first 13 games, you outchanced your opposition. Teams, you didn't always get the results. The last 8 games, you've only outchanced the opposition twice. Does that reinforce the work that needs to be done here? The fact that, okay, there's no sugarcoating this. We're in a bit of a funk. We're struggling.
A lot of focus is always made on chances for and against. That's the world we're in right now with analytics, and everybody has a formula to evaluate players and teams and coaches. I'm not just talking about the Oilers. I'm talking about the sport as a whole, and different metrics that teams use. And quite frankly, for us, we're paid to score goals and we're paid to prevent them. But those are at the ends of the spectrum. It's what happens in between. There's a lot of work that goes into scoring a goal, and there's a lot of work that goes into preventing it. And we're at both ends. We're trying to get the job done, but everything in between isn't happening at the level that it needs to.
So last night with the goals, they scored far too easy. They just threw it around willy-nilly and scored goals. Well,
the game wasn't close. The game wasn't close by any means. They had the puck way more than we did. They produced way more offense than we did. They controlled the game from minute 1 basically all the way through. To say it was too easy based on the goals, it was too easy based on the 60 minutes, and that's kind of what I'm trying to explain when it goes. We're talking ends of the spectrum, goals against and goals for. What about everything in between? And it wasn't a good performance on our behalf.
You need some saves, especially early. You've got a goalie that's a good goalie. He's going through a stretch here. We assume you're going back to him tonight, but is it positive reinforcement? How do you coach a goaltender through this?
Well, based on my experience, you help the goaltender, and it's not just Dustin Schwartz as a goalie coach or the coaching staff. The group around him, the 6 defensemen that put the jersey on, protect the goaltender. They make simple plays and they get it out so that Talbs can get into a game. He's not facing a layup from the slot to begin with. The forwards make a commitment to shorter shifts and back check, and they check for their goaltender. The same thing can be said about the defensemen. In that situation, if we don't feel like we're getting the proper structure, then the forwards have to protect the D-man sometimes. And that's what happens when you're a team. And right now we need to help the goaltender. And then we need to help the defense. And the defense has to help the forwards. We can't be fractured in three different categories. And a lot of times when I'm asked these questions, we single out a D-man or a goaltender. It's the group. And the group has to get better at taking care of each other in all situations. Again, quit playing at the end of the spectrums, play in the middle and see what happens.
I think he played 1 shift in the third. Is that?
And he was hurt last night. And no, it wasn't in the fight. He's got a lower body groin issue that he's dealing with. He's going to try and skate today, and we'll see if he can play.
And what's happened to Oscar Klefbom? What's he not doing? What from last year to this year?
Well, his confidence is at an all-time low right now. He's another guy that's playing with some bumps and bruises that has affected his play. I think it's affected him in the physical part of the game. It has not affected him in the mental part of the game, and that's his responsibility to make sure that He's aware of his assignments. He's aware of what's happening around him. And, in some of the physical battles, it's going to be a little tougher for him right now to win some of them. But the mental part and the vision and the playmaking, that's on him.
Slap a shot.
He's not playing tonight.